Congratulations. Today is your day. You're off to great places. You're off and away. Oh, the places you'll go. You'll be on your way up. You'll be seeing great sights. You'll join the high flyers who soar to high heights. You won't lag behind because you'll have the speed. You'll pass the whole gang, and you'll soon take the lead.
Wherever you fly, you'll be the best of the best.
Wherever you go, you'll top all the rest.
Except when you don't, because sometimes you won't.
I'm sorry to say so, but sadly it's true that bang-ups and hang-ups can happen to you. Somehow you'll escape all that waiting and staying. You'll find the bright places
where boom bands are playing.
And will you succeed?
Yes, you will indeed.
98.75% guaranteed.
Kid, you'll move mountains. Oh, the places you'll go.
There is fun to be done.
There are points to be scored.
There are games to be won.
The magical things you can do with that ball
will make you the winningest winner of all.
Fame.
You'll be famous as famous can be.
With the whole wide world watching you win on TV.
So be your name Bettis, or Big Ben, or Brown,
Hasselbeck,
Palomalu,
or Mr. Touchdown.
You're off to great places. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting, so get on your way to the greatest big super event of them all. Now, you are ready for some football.
Indeed we are. Al Michaels, John Madden back in Detroit. Everybody and everybody's great-grandmother has analyzed the game. But to the newest Hall of Famer, you're going to get the final word here. First, let's take a look at the Seattle Seahawks. League MVP in Sean Alexander. Led the league in scoring. Rookie middle linebacker. What's the best chance for Seattle to win tonight?
You know, I think you would think that Sean Alexander, MVP, leading rusher, would say that they have to come out, they have to put the ball in his hands, he has to run. I don't think that's what they're going to do. I think Seattle has to come out. I think they have to put it in Matt Hasselbeck's hands. I think he has to throw the ball, kind of loosen up that Steeler defense, then maybe get to the run later. And when they do get to the run, they're going to have to run the edges because it's very, very difficult to run inside.
And Matt, coming off two very good performances against Washington and Carolina in the NFC playoffs. Now for Pittsburgh, an emerging star in Ben Roethlisberger in his second season. We all know about Jerome Bettis coming home to play in Detroit. Dominant defensive unit and a team that is playing at the very highest level. What's their best chance to win the game?
I think the way they've played in the playoffs, you know, instead of running into 8-man fronts and just banging the ball in there all the time, they came out and they let Ben Roethlisberger throw early in the game, you know, throw on first down, do those kinds of things. And I think that's how they've become so successful. And then when you really get down to it, Pittsburgh's real strength is their defense. I mean, they have one of the best front sevens in all of football. Then you add Troy Polamalu, their safety, has that 8th guy, and I'll guarantee you they're the best 8 in defense in football.
And with that flowing mane, he'll be the easiest guy on the field to find tonight, number 43 in white. Now for the coin toss. Introducing the captains for the Seattle Seahawks. Matt Hasselbeck. Sean Alexander. Lofa Tatupu. Grant Wistrom. Isaiah Kazavenski. And Josh Scobie. Now the Pittsburgh Steelers captains, Alan Faneca, Hines Ward, Joey Porter, James Farrier, Sean Morey, Chidi Iwoma. And joining the team captains is the referee for Super Bowl 40, Bill Levy. And two-time Super Bowl MVP Tom Brady of the New England Patriots.
Right here, captains. Welcome, captains. Congratulations to both teams on reaching Super Bowl 40 here tonight in Detroit. It's a great honor to be here. Seattle, you are the visitors. You're going to call the coin toss. We have a ceremonial coin. Heads is going to be the double helmet. Tails is the Super Bowl XL logo. Who's going to call the toss? 98. Tails is going to be the call. Tom Brady is going to flip the coin. Tom. Tails is the call. And it is tails. You won the toss. You would like to receive? What goal do you want to defend? Would you turn your backs, please? Turn your backs. Turn your backs, please. Seattle over here. Right over here. Seattle has won the toss and will receive. Good luck, gentlemen.
Reporters tonight working both sidelines. First to Foy, Michelle.
Well, Al, two of the biggest stories in Detroit this week were Jerome Bettis coming home to play in the Super Bowl and Joey Porter trash-talking with Seahawks tight end Jeremy Stevens. Turns out those two stories had some beneficial side effects. Jerome Bettis told me with a wink and a smile that he took 2 weeks worth of pressure off of the starting running back, Willie Parker. He didn't have to go through any of it the last 2 weeks, and he figures to be a big part of the Steelers' game plan. And Bill Cowher told me as much as he doesn't like trash-talking, he was glad Joey Porter was able to take a lot of attention off his young quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger. Cowher would much rather have his veterans in the spotlight. Mission accomplished. Now to the Seahawks sideline and Susie Colbert.
Well, Michelle, Matt Hasselbeck wasn't sure how he would handle the excitement and the nerves of being out here. Well, he's been laughing and joking, enjoying it. Same old Matt. He told me he's been over the checklist in his mind a number of times. He's ready to go. As for the NFL MVP, Sean Alexander, his philosophy against this great Steelers run defense: hit the bully in the mouth first and set the tone. And just moments ago, I spoke to Mike Holmgren. His final words to his team before they left the locker room. He said, "This is an away game for us. 90% of the people out here are Steelers fans. The only people who believe they can win is in this room. Let's go out there and earn their respect." Al, here we go.
Thank you, Susie. Build up over. Game next. Super Bowl 40 from Detroit. Who guided Green Bay to a Super Bowl championship, lost in another appearance. Bill Cowher, second time to the Super Bowl, lost to Dallas 10 years ago. And that is Jeff Reed, who will put it in the air for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And Josh Scobie will run it back. There is Scobie. I talked a few minutes ago about the fact that Seattle fumbled the opening kickoff, first play of the game in Jacksonville back in September. But Scobie has been a good kickoff returner all season long.
You know, and that's one of the areas that there hasn't been a lot of talk about in this Super Bowl matchup. But if you say who has the advantage in special teams, I think it's the Pittsburgh Steelers.
The Pittsburgh Steelers have started hot in their last 2 games at Indianapolis and at Denver. Beat Cincinnati before that, and Super Bowl 40 underway in Detroit. The kick goes to the 3-yard line. Josh Scobie out of Kansas State brings it back out to the 18-yard line. Clint Krewalt makes the tackle. And here comes Hasselbeck. Originally a Green Bay Packer when Holmgren was there, then came over to Seattle, now in his 5th season as a starter. He's been great in postseason, as you can see, with 3 touchdowns, no picks, and a rating of over 109.
And he was saying the biggest thing here offensively for the Seattle Seahawks is going to be how they handle the pressure defense of the Steelers, and we're going to find that out early.
Open up in the eye. You saw Troy Polamalu. We'll keep an eye on his ankle, which was tender early in the week. And the first play is a pass to Darrell Jackson. Let's take a look right now at the Seattle starting offense.
Matt Hasselbeck, Boston College.
Sean Alexander, the University of Alabama. Max Strom, Georgia.
Bobby, the Easy Ingram, Penn State.
D-Jack, Florida Gator.
Joe Jervicius, Lake Catholic High School.
Walter Jones, Florida State. Steve Hutchinson, Michigan.
Robbie Koback, Wazoo.
Chris Gray, Auburn University.
Sean Locklear, Rockland County.
And the man who just introduced himself as D-Jack has made another catch. With the first 2 plays of the game are passes to Jackson.
And that's one of the things that the Seattle Seahawks really do is play up-tempo football. It's not no huddle, but it's a very quick huddle.
And that's how they've begun. And after 2 passes, it's Alexander, the league MVP and a rushing champ, tripped up by Polamalu, but not before he picks up 8 behind a Sean Locklear block. 2nd and 2.
There's Mike Holmgren. He's one of the head coaches in this league that does call his own plays. Gil Haskell is the offensive coordinator, and then he kind of makes up the blank game plan and gives it to Mike Holmgren, and Mike Holmgren is a great play caller.
2nd and 2 from the 38-yard line. Quick 3-step drop and a pass again to Jackson, who missed 9 games during the middle of the season with knee surgery. Then they kept him out of the final game of the year, but he made a couple of very key catches thus far in the playoffs.
Well, you know, Ike Taylor is playing off of Darrell Jackson here, and as long as he gives them that big a cushion, the Seahawks are just going to take it. I mean, they're going to come up and hit that quick out right in front of them and pick up 6 and 7 yards. And until Ike Taylor gets up a little tighter, or they change to a rotation to that side like they are now, they'll do that all day.
Jackson out after a minute and a half and 3 catches, and there goes Alexander around the left side, which is the dominant side of the Seattle offense, with 2 great linemen, of course, in Jones and Hutchinson, much talked about in the preamble to this game. And Alexander picks up about 1.5 yards here.
Yeah, we can see their plan here is they want to stay in 2 backs most of the time, and they want to throw the ball to loosen up this Steeler defense. But when they do run, they're not going to run inside. They're running the edges. Here they have 2 backs here, and here's Max Strong. The fullback is up here as a slot now.
2nd down and 9. Jackson comes back into the game. 6th play of the opening drive. Hasselbeck throws, and the pass is too high. Tried to go to Jackson again. Let's take a look at the Pittsburgh starting defense.
Aaron Smith, Northern Colorado.
Casey Hampton, national champs, Longhorns.
Kimo Von Oelhoffen, Boise State.
Clark Higgins, Colorado State.
James Ferrier, Bollinger Estates.
Larry Foote, Detroit Persian High School.
Joey Porter, Colorado State.
Ike Taylor, New Orleans, Louisiana.
Troy Kumalo, University of Southern California.
Chris Hope, Florida State.
Deshae Townsend, South Panola University.
3rd down and 9. Seattle likes to come up and split backs 3rd and long, and they do here with Morris and Max Strong. They stay in the block, and there's a sack, but a penalty. That's Clark Higgins who got there, but we'll see about the call. Bill Levy is the referee.
You know, with Clark Higgins on one side, Joey Porter on the other side, you really can't give them that edge, and the Seahawks know that too. But you see, here's the edge I'm talking about. It's right here and right here. You know, with no tight end there, then they just get that free run at your quarterback. And then he has to step up, and then they get to push in the middle, and the guy that enjoys it most is a quarterback of the defense that just got the sack.
Seattle to punt. Tom Ruin, who has 2 Super Bowl rings as a former member of the Denver Broncos, to put it in the air. Antoine Randall is back to receive it. And the kick goes into the end zone. So the first drive for Roethlisberger and company will start at the 20-yard line. A little less than 3 minutes into Super Bowl 40. The Pittsburgh Steelers, their 45 active guys tonight, none has ever played in a Super Bowl. From the 20-yard line, Ben Roethlisberger, 2nd year out of Miami of Ohio, led him to a 15-1 mark last year. And right off the bat, you've got Bryce Fisher coming across the line, and he was induced. False start.
False start. Number 83, offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Tight end Keith Miller, who could be a key factor before this one is done.
You know, Bill Cowher said that they were going to be able to use some quick count, and they've played 3 road games in the playoffs, and this game in the Super Bowl, should be more of a neutral crowd, but if you look or listen to this crowd, believe me, this is a Pittsburgh Steelers crowd.
About 80%, I would estimate. 1st and 15, and this is Willie Parker, taken down at the line of scrimmage by the rookie linebacker Leroy Hill. Last year, Tommy Maddox got hurt early, so they went to the rookie, did a tremendous job, and really came of age this season, despite missing some time because of arthroscopic knee surgery. And in postseason, he has been just tremendous with 7 touchdowns and 1 interception. Double tight end set here. on 2nd down and 15 from the 15-yard line.
Look at how deep the middle linebacker Lofa Tatupu is.
They set up the screen to Parker, and Parker runs into Faneca, ran into his own man, and that's a gain of 1. It'll be 3rd down and 14. Willie Parker making the catch. He is their lead running back. Bettis is their short yardage guy. Veron Haynes on 3rd down.
You know, Al, I was talking about Lofa Tatupu, and you see how deep he is. But the big thing about being that deep, when he sees something, he can run up and hit that thing upfield. And he can meet it right at the line of scrimmage. So you look at him and say, geez, he's lined up too deep. And then whenever the ball gets to the line of scrimmage, Tatupu's right there.
Son of Mosi Tatupu, who played in the Super Bowl 20 years ago. Haynes is in the backfield, flanking Roethlisberger out of the shotgun. And a second penalty on this drive, and that'll be a second false start.
False start. Number 78 offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Max Starks.
You know, and that's what I was saying. You know, it's kind of a Pittsburgh Steeler crowd, so you wouldn't expect that on the Steelers to have 2 early penalties like this.
Mosi
right there.
Oh, yeah, great special teamer. Played with New England in the Super Bowl 20 against Chicago. Still lives in New England. Lofa grew up in New England, started his college career at Maine, and then wound up going to USC. 3rd and 19 from the gun.
Seattle has a 3-man rush here.
Roethlisberger able to get away, and then a slide to a stop at the 21-yard line. Tatupu is there to make sure. And Pittsburgh will have to punt after 3 and out, including 2 false starts.
Yeah, you always look at that 3-man rush and you say, these are not going to put a lot of pressure on the quarterback. But the pressure on the quarterback becomes that, okay, you only have 3 guys rushing, but you have 8 defending, so you have to throw into 8-man coverage. And in today's quick throw football, that's very difficult.
Chris Gardocki's been in the league 15 years, has never had a punt block. Peter Warrick will run it back for the Seahawks. And the left footer with a low kick, fielded at the 38. And taken down right there. James Harrison making the tackle. Hasselbeck and company come out for the second time with 9:39 to go in the opening quarter. 0-0.
Ball on every play in the first half, and that's to get these footballs into the game. And when we talked to Matt Hasselbeck the other day, that was his biggest concern. He said every quarterback that he talked to said, watch out for the balls in the Super Bowl because they're all new, and you get a new one on every play, and a new ball is usually a slick ball.
Roethlisberger's not worried about it. He's wearing the glove. Hasselbeck, meanwhile, with some completions on their first drive. And there's a little toss back to the fullback, Max Strong, and he gets tripped up by Kimo von Oelhoffen. They use a 3-4 with von Oelhoffen and Aaron Smith outside. And the big man at 325 pounds, number 98, Casey Hampton, filling up the middle.
You know, and that's where it all starts. I think you talk about, you know, the linebackers on this defense. You talk about Troy Polamalu, but it's those front 3 guys that play like 3 defensive tackles that get everything started in the run game.
2nd down and 10. Secondary does its job, and now Matt's going to take off, and he's going to slide to a hole, probably a little short of the first down. They will mark it just short of the 45-yard line, setting up 3rd and short.
You know, Kimo von Oelhoffen has a heck of a club. We talked to Walter Jones the other day. The big thing that he was worried about was that club. You see it right there, the left end, and he said, I just have to keep my hips low and keep my balance, because if this guy catches you off balance, he just launches you.
3rd and 1, Alexander 16 for 16 on 3rd and 1 during the regular season. They fake it to him, and the pass is caught by Jackson, and Darrell Jackson's to the 45-yard line. Tackled there by Ike Taylor, and Jackson's already caught 4 passes for 30 yards.
You know, one of the things that Seattle wants to do, if they have to use a running back as a blocker, what they do is they want Max Strong to be the guy. So they're always going to play with 2 backs, and it's going to be either an eye or it's going to be offset. They really don't want Sean Alexander to be the pass protector.
Pittsburgh rotating its defensive line here, 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Hasselback's going to set up a screen, and then Alexander juggled it. And that was the end of that play. But Kiesel is there to make the tackle, number 99.
You know, I think that's kind of a key, Al. Anytime you see Sean Alexander in there as a single back, it's probably going to be a screen. Dick LeBeau, the defensive coordinator of the Steelers, he's going to attack your protection. So when he sees a single back, he knows that he can make that back block in pass protection. They're going to try and do that to Alexander, and then Mike Holmgren, on the other hand, is going to say, okay, you do that, I want to screen to that side.
LeBeau is behind Cowher. One-time Detroit Lion back. Off the play fake. It's caught out in the flat by Bobby Ingram. He makes his first catch of the night, and the ball is at the 41-yard line where Ike Taylor makes the tackle. It'll be 3rd down and 6.
You know, Matt Hasselbeck, is a big guy, 6'4", and you don't think of those guys as being scramblers, but he's very good at that. He's very good at this type of thing, keeping a play alive. Just moving a little, but then he throws very well on the move and doesn't have to get set because he has a strong arm. He's a good player. He's playing at a high level now, but when he runs, he continues to look upfield.
4 receivers here, including DJ Hackett in the game for the first time with a ton of speed. On 3rd down and 6, the pass is caught. There is a flag. That would be Jackson's 5th catch. But we'll see about the call from Levy. That was a 3rd down and 6.
Holding. Number 62 offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat 3rd down.
Back that comes on a hole by Chris Gray, the 13th year guard out of Auburn.
It's going to be against James Ferrier. He's going to come in and say, here's Chris Gray right here. You see, he starts to the outside, and he just gets his arm right around Ferrier's neck. Watch him. He's right there. Then he gets that right arm around his neck and puts the old chokehold on him.
And so with a little bit more than 6 minutes to go in a scoreless opening quarter, the Seahawks backed up. 3rd down, 16 at their own 49-yard line.
And the Steelers are in an interesting defense, and this is when they get their exotic defenses. 2 defensive linemen, 3 linebackers, 6 defensive backs.
They rush 3. Hasselback guns it downfield and nearly has it picked off by Ike Taylor. Had it in his hands, could make the interception. In comes the punting unit.
Yeah, and those are things we were talking about earlier. Again, it was a 3-man rush, and the good news is you don't get a lot of pressure on the quarterback. The bad news is you're throwing into a lot of white jerseys. 8.
A lot of jewelry in the Tom Ruin household. Married to Amy Van Dyke and has won a few golds as an Olympic swimmer. Ruin, who started the season with Carolina, winds up coming back to Seattle. And that kick will wind up in the end zone. Second time that's happened. Pittsburgh again will start from its 20-yard line. 5:39 left in the opening period. Seattle nothing. Pittsburgh nothing.
Papa, why do we have a hybrid?
Centers are sneaky guys. Watch, Von Oelhoffen is working here. He tries to get his club, but watch Robbie Tobeck right there. Once Von Oelhoffen says, they love to sneak out and get that guy that's not looking. And it will always be the center that does that.
Tobeck, who's played in the Super Bowl before as an Atlanta Falcon. And this is Parker trying to go to the outside, and he's tackled by Trufant. Here's the Pittsburgh offense.
Ben Roethlisberger, Miami University. Willie Parker, Clinton High School.
Dan Kreider, New Hampshire. Antoine Randall, Indiana University.
Hines Ward, Forest Park, Georgia.
Heath Miller, University of Virginia. Marvell Smith, Arizona State.
Alan Faneca, LSU. Jeff Harding, Penn State.
Kendall Simmons, Auburn. Max Starks, University of Florida.
Second down and 10 now for the Pittsburgh Steelers from the 20-yard line. And this is Parker up to about the 26, 3rd and 4. The Seattle defense now.
Bryce Fisher, U.S. Air Force Academy.
Chuck Darby, North High School. Rocky Bernard, Baytown, Texas.
Grant Wistrom, University of Nebraska.
Leroy Hill, Clemson. Loth Tupu, Southern Cal. D.D. Lewis, University of Texas.
Andre Dyson, University of Cal.
Michael Bowen, Florida State. Marquand Manley, the University of Florida.
Marcus Trufant, Washington State.
The defense did a great job. It was revamped in the offseason. Then Ray Rhodes, the defensive coordinator, suffered a stroke earlier in the year. John Marshall has pretty much taken over the role as defensive coordinator, and the pass intended for Hines Ward, no good, incomplete, and it's a 3-and-out for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, the Steelers were in their dime defense. They had 6 defensive backs in there, making it tough for Roethlisberger to throw. You know, if you look at his games in the playoffs, Ben Roethlisberger, he had the most success when he was able to throw on first and second down. And to me, both these teams look a little tight, don't they? I don't know if it's that or maybe they start to get going and they get the penalty, but it's one of those two things.
Especially after the way Pittsburgh started in each of his last 2 games against Indianapolis and Denver. A little powering tonight. Gardaki's kick fielded 37-yard line. Warwick comes to the outside. And Warwick will take it back to close to midfield to the 49-yard line. So good field position for the Seahawks here with 4:01 to go in the scoreless first quarter. Super Bowl 40 from Detroit.
Of any sport. I've never won a championship in my life, so I really don't know what it feels like or what it's going to feel like. But to me, it's more about the memories. I think the memories are priceless. The memories will last in you, in your mind, in your heart, and your soul forever.
You look at that Pittsburgh defense with Polamalu and Porter. It's kind of like going to a movie. You have 11 actors, but 2 of them would be like Jack Nicholson and Robert De Niro. You always know when they're in the scene. And this is Alexander across the 50 to the 47-yard line for a gain of 4.
And you listen to Troy Polamalu, and he really sounds like a gentle guy, and off the field he is. I mean, he's really, but he gets on field and he's a totally different guy. I mean, this guy is all over the place. I mean, he'll launch himself at everything. And Dick LeBeau says a great player as a safety, the thing you're always looking for is a guy that can sack the quarterback and intercept the ball deep.
Well,
that's Troy Polamalu.
You talk to the Seahawks this week, they describe him as a missile, and that's what he is. Lines up all over the field, come from any angle. 2nd down and 6, and that's a 5th catch for Jackson, who's inside the 30, takes it to the 28, tying Andre Reed's record for most catches in the first quarter of a Super Bowl with 5.
Well, what they did is they caught him in that cover 2. You're going to see both safeties are deep. Jackson just gets inside the corner and trips on one side. And remember we were talking to Matt Hasselbeck yesterday, and he said, who do you think will have a big game? He had a smile. So I was just talking to Daryl Johnson. I think he's going to have a big day.
Play fake. Lots of time. Goes the other way, and that is hauled in for a first down by Joe Jurevicius, who's playing in his 3rd Super Bowl, once as a Giant, once as a Buccaneer, and now as a Seahawk.
And that's a heck of a throw by Matt Hasselbeck. That was his 3rd read, but it all starts with good pass protection. When they bring their pressure, they bring those outside linebackers like Higgins has come. If you get them blocked, then you can throw the ball on this defense. Getting them blocked is a tough thing. The Seahawks just did it there.
And the Seahawks beginning to open the game up a little bit, talking about the slow pace at the beginning. Like a fight where there's nothing but jabs. And now Hasselbeck moves to his left, throws, caught, touchdown, but here comes a flag. It's Darrell Jackson who makes the catch, and the flag thrown at the end of the play.
And that's what I was saying. Matt Hasselbeck does so well. There's going to be a penalty here, but he'll start to scramble, but he doesn't run. He just keeps looking upfield and finds that open guy.
Interference, number 82. Offense. 1-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Wipe it out.
Yeah, it's something that Matt Hasselbeck saw all the way because he started running down there. Here's Jackson. He's going to start outside. Then he's coming on the in right there. And then he feels the scramble. So he goes into a scramble drill, and he put that right hand up there. When you think of push-offs, that's not the kind you think about, really.
He pushed Chris Pope away. So 2 big penalties have cost Seattle 2 big plays in the first quarter, which is 2 minutes to go.
The problem with Jackson on that play was right in front of the official, but again, he was finished running his pattern. He was going into scramble drill.
1st and 20 now from the 26-yard line. Alexander on a stretch play to the right. And Pittsburgh is there on the outside to knock him down after a gain of a couple. Back we go to Jackson again.
And you see again, he's running the pattern here. His pattern is an in. Now he sees and feels Hasselbeck scramble, so he goes to scramble drill. You just keep moving, find an opening for him, but in doing so, and look, it's right in front of the official, he pushed off with his right hand.
Jackson has all 4 of Seattle's first downs. 2nd and 19. They're going to give it to Alexander. He's going to pick and thread, but not go anywhere because it's stopped on the outside by Larry Foote, a Detroiter coming home to play in his hometown. He's the first guy to stop him.
What they do, these Seattle Seahawks, we're talking about how they really don't feel they can run inside. They have to run outside, but the tough thing about going outside is that they really handle the edges well and make you cut back. And then when you cut back, their speed and their pursuit is excellent.
3rd down, 23. Have to get it to the 6-yard line to convert. And Hasselbeck's going for 6. It is tipped up in the air and incomplete, intended for the speedy D.J. Hackett, the number 4 wideout, and Bryant McFadden, a rookie out of Florida State, is there for the coverage.
Yeah, I think that was the matchup they were looking for, is to get their speed D.J. Hackett on the rookie McFadden, but that ball stays up there a little too long. In fact, McFadden made such a good read on it. He was really by it and a little late. Hackett had a chance to catch that thing.
Now a 47-yard field goal attempt for Josh Brown. In perfect indoor conditions, right down the middle. And so the Seahawks get on the board first in Super Bowl 40 with 22 ticks left in the period. 3-0 Seattle. His first game at the Silverdome when San Francisco beat Cincinnati back in '81.
Right, that was my first Super Bowl, the first Super Bowl here, and that was a great game. And that was, Bill Walsh's first Super Bowl win, 49ers, Joe Montana. That was kind of the start of that 49er dynasty.
First of 5, they've won 5, and Dallas has won 5. And now Pittsburgh would be a 5-time winner if they win. And of course, for Seattle, everybody who follows the game knows, first time ever in the Super Bowl. Brown, who just kicked a 47-yard field goal. With the kickoff, it's taken a yard into the end zone by Ricardo Coakley. And he gets taken down to the 20-yard line, and we go to Michelle Tafoya.
Well, Al, Pittsburgh backup safety Mike Logan has suffered an injury to his left knee. His return is doubtful. Now, remember, starting strong safety Troy Polamalu had some concerns about his left ankle during the week. Logan is his backup, so Polamalu is indispensable now. Logan also a contributor on special teams, Al.
Unfortunately for Bill Cowher, the way it appears right now, Polamalu looks 100%.
Yeah, when we went to practice the other day, Polamalu on Thursday didn't practice, and that was a little shocking when he couldn't do anything. But Bill Cowher said they took an X-ray, there was no problem, and he'll be
Roethlisberger throws, and that pass is incomplete. It would have been about a 6-yard gain. Cedric Wilson dropping it, came over from the 49ers and played a key role in the playoffs as their number 3 receiver as Roethlisberger checks the band.
Lofa Tutupu may have had something to do with his dropping it. This guy is amazing as a rookie. I saw him in training camp. I thought, he's pretty good. Saw him regular season and said, he's good. Watched him at the end of the season. I said, this guy is a dominant player. He's a great player. Reminds me of Mike Singletary a lot.
Roethlisberger, who is 1 out of 3 for 1 yard, going over the middle into double coverage, and that's incomplete. Jordan Babineau helps to break it up, and then a flag comes in.
I wonder if that's going to be on Boulware, because Boulware got there just after the ball did. Pretty good reaction. Michael Boulware was the deep safety reacting on the ball. Remember, this is an all-star group of officials.
There's going to be no foul for unnecessary roughness with the helmet. Did not contact him with the helmet. 3rd down.
That's what I think they were looking at. I think they were looking at Michael Boulware.
Yes. And then somebody said they had a better angle on it.
Right. He's number 28, and it looks like, right there he comes in. You see it? That's exactly what it was. And then They thought it looked like it was a helmet-to-helmet contact, and then one of the officials from another angle, saw that there wasn't helmet-to-helmet.
So no foul. 3rd down and 10. Roethlisberger, who started so hot in the 3 playoff games, 1 out of 4 for 1 yard in the period. Under pressure, steps away, great pocket presence. And then the pass is incomplete, intended for the rookie Nate Washington. He's covered by Marcus Trufant. That'll do it for the first quarter. At the end of the first quarter, the Seattle Seahawks 3, the Pittsburgh Steelers nothing. And ABC's coverage of Super Bowl 40 continues after this message and a word from our ABC station.
Jackie Chan,
Schulte Foya and Susie Culver with you at the end of a first quarter in which Seattle, with a 47-yard field goal by Brown, leads 3-0. Pittsburgh does not have a first down, and they'll begin the second quarter with a Chris Gardocki punt.
In fact, Pittsburgh has had 3 possessions, 3 and out. Ben Roethlisberger's 1 for 5.
Seattle with 5 first downs. And figured to have pretty good field position here again, except Gardocki with a beautiful kick that backs Warwick up to the 22-yard line. And Warwick gets a block. Warwick down the sideline, and Warwick takes the ball across the 50 to the 46-yard line.
Well, you could see that one coming up here, Al. He had the old picket fence. You know, you have a return right or a return left. That was a return right, and you form a wall on that side. And from here, you could just see a perfect Seattle Seahawk wall.
Holding. Number 35 receiving team. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
Almost never fails. Ettrick Pruitt with the foul.
But it's still a good-looking wall.
Yep.
Watch the wall here. It's over here to the right. Right here, this is a wall being formed by the Seattle Seahawks. And right there, you just go right up that lane.
It's funny, he got 2 real good clean blocks, and then Pruitt sort of an accessory on the run back here. Is the guy called for the foul?
Right, he was holding right there at the line of scrimmage, trying to hold his guy up from getting a release to get into coverage.
So now they'll start from the 25-yard line. Hasselbeck will give it to Alexander. He gains 5. We go to Susie Culver.
Al, talking to Seattle quarterback coach Jim Zorn, he explained how Matt Hasselbeck can have success against this complex Pittsburgh Steelers defense. He said the key is to avoid the mind clutter. Don't try to overanalyze. Let the coaches do the work. Just call the plays you're given. So I've watched Matt between series. He calls upstairs to Jim Zorn. They analyze the plays. The choices: don't call it, change of protection, or attack.
And right now he attacks to the outside to Bobby Ingram, and the pass is incomplete. John, we've been with the teams all week long. These are 2 of the coolest quarterbacks we've ever been around.
You know, and I thought towards the end of the week that they kind of cracked. You know, they're cool on Wednesday and Thursday. Yeah, we all are. But you know, the day before the game they would be tight. They weren't tight yesterday. I thought, well, the day of the game. You know, so I walked out in the field, and Ben Roethlisberger was out there, and he was just kind of hanging out like this. I've never seen a quarterback in a Super Bowl as cool as these 2 guys.
As was Hasselbeck before the game, just soaking it all in. 3rd down and 5. Hasselbeck rolling to his left, throws. That's caught. Joe Jurevicius makes the catch for a first down up at the 44-yard line. He's tackled by Bryant McFadden.
You know, one of the things that Matt Hasselbeck said, or in fact not one of the things, he said the most important thing, and I said it earlier, was handling the Steeler pressures, and they're doing a very good job of that. I mean, their pass protection is good. They're moving Hasselbeck a little. Hasselbeck is scrambling a little, and they are handling that part of the Steeler defense.
That guy had Hasselbeck's haircut. Sean Alexander picks up 3. Don Hasselbeck, father of Matt, played in a Super Bowl as a Los Angeles Raider and was a winner in that game. There he is. And brother Tim is the backup quarterback for the New York Giants.
Yeah, and he's here too. He's on the left of that group. But Don Hasselbeck was a tough guy. He was a good player. He was a smart football player.
Now Alexander behind a Max Strong blocked across the 50-yard line. 3rd down and 2.
Yeah, this is what we talked about, where they want to run. You know, get to the edges here. Don't try and run up the middle, but get out there, get that edge block, get that linebacker block, and then cut off him. And if you look, they're just trying to run to the numbers. They're really not trying to run between the hashes on the field, but they're trying to run to these angles out to the numbers.
Alexander comes out. He's already carried 8 times for 23 yards. 3rd down and 2. And the pass is caught, but then it is lost. It is incomplete. Incomplete. Never had possession. Jeremy Stevens, the tight end, hit by Chris Hope. So no fumble, incomplete, and 4th down coming up.
Yeah, we talk about Chris Polamalu and how they move him all around. I mean, Troy Polamalu, how they move him all around. And then when that happens, then Chris Hope is a free safety. So if Polamalu is coming up and playing underneath, the guy that has to play the whole middle of the field is the guy that make the hit right there. And maybe if there's an underrated guy on this defense, it could be Chris Hope.
I'll tell you, they could have ruled that a fumble. Here's Tom Ruin's kick. Bouncing at the 1 and then going into the end zone. Again, Scobie was down there but couldn't knock it down before it hit the goal line. Hope with the hit, causing the incomplete pass. Pittsburgh with it when we come back. Chicago D in Super Bowl 20, and now tonight still minus a 1st down. Pittsburgh starts its 4th drive, and every one of them have started at the 20-yard line, and Jerome Bettis is in the game for the first time. So the flashbulbs are popping, and the hometown boy has the ball faked to him and then thrown incomplete to the outside. Bryce Fisher put the pressure on that time. It'll be 2nd down and 10. For Jerome Bettis, it's a great story. From Detroit, started as a Ram. He'll go to the Hall of Fame as a Pittsburgh Steeler. Will he or won't he retire is the question. That is to be determined. And then, of course, who can ever forget the fumble in Indianapolis, the tackle by Roethlisberger. If they win the Super Bowl, that will go down in NFL lore forever.
Right, and that's going to, be so special. And again, I think it's special anyway, that Ben Roethlisberger tackle after the Bettis fumble. But if they win the Super Bowl and it becomes a Super Bowl year, that will be known as the tackle. He won't have to say anything else except the tackle.
You got the catch, you got the drive, you'd have the tackle. 2-yard gain there. Tubbs makes the stop. 11:50 remaining in the first half. And Jerome will come out now, 3rd down and 8. Veron Haynes is their 3rd down back.
And Seattle's been doing a very good job of stopping them on 1st and 2nd down and creating 3rd and long yardage. You brought up the poor field position the Steelers have had, but not getting any 1st downs. They haven't gotten out of poor field position.
Roethlisberger out of the shotgun. You'll never see the shotgun from Seattle. Not one snap in the shotgun this year for the Seahawks. And that pass is juggled and then held onto by Antoine Randall L. And that will be your first down.
Yeah, I circled that bunch out there, and you just see that's what you do against a zone. He had 3 wide receivers out there. He looks it off to the right, to the single side, and then he comes back to Antoine Randall L. to the side that he had the 3 wide receivers. You see you have one coming in, one going out, one short, one medium, and one deep.
Randall L. loves to work over the middle, very effective there, and that time the ball almost slipped out of his hands. He was able to regather it from the 30-yard line now. And they're going to run an end around with Hines Ward with a lot of room to the outside for a 1st down and about a 17-yard gain before Manuel knocks him out of the bounds.
And that's the first gadget that we see from the Steelers, and that's what they try and do. Bill Cowher loves gadgets, and you love them in this type of situation when you don't have momentum. Momentum's going the other way. Everything's going the other way. You need a change, and you come back with a play like this, or reverse. They call that a gadget, and it gets them to big play, and it could change momentum.
And a timeout taken here with 10:36 to play in the half. 3-0 Seattle. Stop it. Take a look here.
Well, you see, first of all, there's a helmet-to-helmet contact, so it could be that. And then if you look right there, it could be his ankle. right there. You're not sure if that's a head, an ankle, or something in between.
But right now, Ettrick Pruitt comes in, second-year safety out of Southern Mississippi to replace him. Pittsburgh back-to-back first downs, on the move now at the 48-yard line with Seattle up 3-0. Fake draw, play action. Roethlisberger deep but short and picked off at the 16-yard line by Michael Boulware. Antoine Randall, the intended receiver. Roethlisberger had time off the fake, but Boulware stayed right with him, and the underthrown pass results in an interception.
Remember, Michael Boulware was a linebacker in college that they made a safety of, and he has become very good at these kinds of things.
First half against Denver, 180 yards tonight, 9 yards. As Hasselbeck throws, and that is caught on the outside by Bobby Ingram. And it'll be second down and 7 at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, it kind of looks like the Pittsburgh offense and Ben Roethlisberger in this first half so far, they don't look like they have a plan. You know, you can't say, what are they trying to do? Are they trying to throw on first down like they've done in the playoff games, or are they trying to get a running game going? And they haven't gotten anything established, and you can't see where they're going yet. You can kind of see Seattle's plan. You can't see Pittsburgh's offensive plan yet.
Steelers very, very tentative. Alexander gets ridden down by Joey Porter. Porter yet to really make his presence felt in the game, but during the course of the season, and especially in postseason, you certainly knew where number 55 was. 7th year out of Colorado State, and a guy who loves to work on the outside, work off the edge, and somebody a quarterback always has to keep an eye on, obviously.
Yeah, and he's playing that position, that right outside linebacker in a 3-man line. That's a position that Lawrence Taylor made popular. You know, that you better block him with a lineman, because if you just leave him on an edge like he is right here and block him with a back, he's going to win that battle. Walter Jones comes out and blocks him.
He goes back into pass coverage on 3rd and 3, and they get it out to Strong, and then Strong is taken down by the cornerback Deshae Townsend, and they're going to mark it a little bit short of the first down. Bill Levy will bring the chains in as Max Strong, the 13-year fullback who will go to the Pro Bowl out of Georgia. There he is. Of course, that's becoming an extinct position with a lot of teams.
Right, and that and the strong side linebacker, and you don't even hear much about those guys. And I was talking to Mike Holmgren about that the other day, and he said the slot guy and 3 wide receivers has taken his position. Now Mike Holmgren has a decision. I think in this situation, I think you have to punt.
I do too.
Yeah. I mean, you look and it's just inches, and you wish you would have gotten the first down, and it's easy to say go for it, but I mean, you have momentum, you have stuff going. You're not going to let the Steelers have the ball at this position on the field.
Not at your own 26. You've dominated the game in the sense it's only 3-0, but you've had the ball 14.5 minutes to 6.5 minutes. And, of course, nothing would give the opponent more momentum than not making a 4th and 1 at your own 26.
Yeah, but it's tough for coaches and fans when some referee goes like this and he puts his hands like 3 inches apart and said that's all you have to go for a first down, and you say punting team, but you have to do it.
As most coaches say, though, you listen to your crowd and what they want to do, and pretty soon you're sitting with them. Ruins kick, caught 29-yard line by Antoine Randall, and the slippery one brings it back to the 42-yard line, and the ball is loose, but they're going to say it was down, and the whistle is blown.
Boy, did he get hit.
Ooh.
He got caught in a spin, and he got caught going sideways and got hit right in the middle of the back.
Holding his back and writhing on the ground with 8:15 left in the opening half.
And now Chris,
far from here, down I-75, played his college football at Miami of Ohio.
I was saying that Ben Roethlisberger has to throw more on first down. He's really tried 3 times and hasn't completed one yet. So I have to say he has to throw more on first down and complete them.
Randall shaken up on the punt return, is not on the field. Otherwise, he'd be one of their receivers. And Willie Parker yet to get it started. Let's go to Susie Colbert.
Well, Al, here's the update on free safety Marcon Manuel. He is questionable with a left groin injury. They had him behind towels just a moment ago so they could pull his pants down and tape up his groin, and now he's just trying to get it loosened up. They're hoping he can get back in there.
And already you can see the bandage on his chin, and you've got Ettrick Pruitt in there. Manuel would be a big loss.
And remember, Manuel was the guy that took Ken Hamlin's place.
Right. Hamlin hurt in a fight outside a bar on a Sunday night in midseason and done for the season as Parker takes it up to the 45-yard line, and it'll be 3rd down and 6. And this crowd, it's a Pittsburgh-dominated crowd. I mean, the Super Bowl is supposed to be a neutral site. Well, this place before the game, when the Steelers got introduced, was about as neutral as Lake Placid was when the U.S. was playing the Soviet Union in 1980.
No, they were crazy then, but they're kind of quiet during the game. I wonder if these are really real Steeler fans, or if they just had a bunch of terrible towels they were handing out somewhere.
3rd and 6, and Randall Ellis back in the game. 4 wideouts against 6 defensive backs. Roethlisberger's going to shovel it, and it's going to be caught by Hines Ward, and he's going to pick up a 1st down at the 43-yard line. And Roethlisberger is so adept at absorbing contact and getting away and then making something happen. 12-yard gain.
Yeah, that's when he's his best. The Seattle Seahawks defensive coordinator John Marshall said, guys, just drip off him. And I think you see a drip off right there. And then what I like about him, he stays alive. I mean, that one, he just kind of flipped underhand out there to Hines Ward, but he keeps looking downfield, trying to make a play in the passing game, not run with the ball.
Roethlisberger is 3 of his first 9 for 21 yards. The ball is at the Seattle 43-yard line. Trying to get a running game going, and they can't. And despite not having a running game in their last 2 playoffs games, it was Roethlisberger through the air that did it. Normally, Pittsburgh loves to chew up the clock and run the ball, but they proved in their last 2 games against Indy and Denver, it doesn't have to be that way.
And that's the way that Roethlisberger wanted to do it. Remember, he told us early in the season, he said, we run on 1st down, run on 2nd down, and then if we don't do well, then I get in the shotgun and we throw on 3rd down. He said, I want to throw more on 1st and 2nd down. Then they started to do it, and they were a lot more successful.
2nd down and 9. The ball is at the 43-yard line. Ward sets up on a wing. Roethlisberger throws deep over the middle, and that's caught at the 22-yard line by Cedric Wilson, who's really come on in postseason. Free agent picked up from San Francisco, and on the receiving end of a 20-yard catch here.
Yeah, this is a cover 3, and what they're trying to do is just hit the seam. And the seam is inside this corner Trufant here before you get to the safety. There's a seam there between the corner and the cover 3 and the safety. And he just hit him perfectly in that seam of the zone.
Now the ball at the 22.
Bill Cowher was saying that Cedric Wilson is really his best route runner.
Deepest penetration for the Steelers by a lot. Roethlisberger, the pump fake, throws to the corner of the end zone and off the fingertips of Hines Ward. Andre Dyson covering on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
That's one thing Ben Roethlisberger has learned, isn't it? You know, to pump off. If you're going to throw right, pump left and try and get that safety out of there, and then you really have a true one-on-one. He got the true one-on-one, and he just threw it a little long. I don't know. I mean, Hines Ward should have caught that ball, but I don't know. Had he caught it, I think he still would have been out of bounds, right?
Well, let's take a look. Yeah, it was close, sure. Agreed. Too tough to get 2 feet in. 2nd down and 10 from the 22-yard line. Ben again under some pressure. Set up the screen. It's the bus. And Bettis gets tripped up, and there's a flag down. Jerome gets to the 17-yard line, pending the call. Bill Levy, the referee, is a retired policeman and a retired fireman.
And he's a very, very good referee.
Prior to the pass, offensive pass interference, number 83. Offense, 10-yard penalty, repeat 2nd down.
That's Heath Miller. Bill Levy was actually a high school referee about 30 years ago and reffed a game in which Mike Holmgren was an assistant coach at a San Jose high school.
Oak Grove High School, and Mike Holmgren remembered Bill Levy from that time, and Bill Levy remembered Mike Holmgren. You wonder why, and you wonder how. I don't know when I was a high school coach. I was never a high school coach, but I don't know that I could remember a referee's name. And if I wouldn't be a referee either. I was going to say, if I was a referee, I wouldn't know an assistant coach's name.
And they meet again in the Super Bowl. 2nd down and 20. Play fake. Under pressure from the outside, and that's Grant Wistrom, the former Ram, who comes in, gets around his block, and knocks down Big Ben, and for the moment takes him out of field goal range.
Grant Wistrom will always make that play. I mean, he has that motor, goes 110%. You know, he just keeps moving, He's there against Marvell Smith. He gets into him, gets his feet working, gets his hands working, gets to the outside and makes a big sack. You know, this team, the Seahawks, led the league in sacks. They had 50 sacks, but you say, well, who did it? They had 11 different guys do it.
3rd down and 28 out of the shotgun now. Roethlisberger. 3-man rush. He's going to take off. He has time. He's going to launch one, and it is going to be caught at the 3-yard line by Hines Ward. So Ben Roethlisberger is able to move out of the pocket, and then he had to be so careful about where the line of scrimmage was. He almost looked around to his left to make sure he didn't cross that line, and then he saw where the marker was and is able to launch a big pass downfield.
Yeah, Ben Roethlisberger told us one of his secrets in scrambling is when that end gets up the field like Wistrom does, escape to that side, get out to that side, and continue to look downfield and throw the ball. He says, I got a secret in scrambling, and then he said, but I'm not going to tell you. And then he told us, and we just saw it on that play. End up the field, tackle down, take that window and throw out of it.
Timeout. Pittsburgh. 1st and goal when we come back. 3-0. See, you can't throw the ball. You can't back up. Going to put a red line in here, and you're going to take a look at this.
Yeah, the red line is a line of scrimmage. You see that end getting up the field, the tackling, that lets him get out to the left. Now, did he throw before he got to the red line? Yes.
Yeah, oh, baby.
That was like he knew where that red line was.
Yep, and that would have been a reviewable play. Now the bus taking it to the 1-yard line. So Jerome Bettis coming home. Is this the end of the career? Might be. And what a way to end it. In your hometown in the Super Bowl. And will they give it to him again? The Bettis clan.
And you know that they're going to give it to him down here. I mean, this is what Jerome Bettis does. He runs short yardage, runs goal line. But they say they start the game with Willie Parker. And they start the drives with Willie Parker. And they finish them with Jerome Bettis.
Steelers have been terrific inside the 5-yard line this season. One reason has been Bettis, but they're going to stop him here, setting up a very big early 3rd down play here. Leroy Hill makes the tackle.
That's a defensive coach that'll do that. He's just going to run him in there. And Seattle knows that. But watch how they come and the way they get their linebackers right there, get pressure. So you get them in the backfield, and then there's no place to cut. There's no cutback, and there's no place to go over. Seattle goal line defense played that superbly.
Pittsburgh takes us to the 2-minute warning. 3rd and goal when we come back to Super Bowl 40.
You feel that? Something's off.
Stay here, you die!
You think you can get us off this boat?
I can.
Big Ben Roethlisberger 3rd down pass to Hines Ward on 3rd and 28 to set him up at the 1-yard line. The Steelers this season, as you can see, when they've been inside the opponent's 5, 16 touchdowns on 17 drives, and in the postseason, 3 out of 5.
You see number 72 in the huddle there. That's Barrett Brooks, a backup tackle who will play a tight end on the left side. This is going to be a tough rundown. I could see a play-action pass.
And instead it's Roethlisberger on a keeper diving, and does he get there? Yes, he does. The linesman came in. It looked like he was going to spot it. Then he came closer, and Roethlisberger is able to score the touchdown on the 11th play of the drive.
Yeah, I think the way the Seattle defense hit that second down play, I think they had to come up with something like this, where you give them the tailback, you give them the fullback, and then you let the quarterback make the play for you.
And a reviewable play, if Mike Holmgren's coaches upstairs tell him that they want this to be challenged. You can challenge this play. You take a look. Does the ball get to the goal line? And I take it back about the guys upstairs. This is up to the replay official now, because we're just inside 2 minutes, just inside the 2-minute warning. Do the guys upstairs, does the replay official upstairs want to take a look at this?
I think he has to.
It is under review.
I think he has to. I think that
too critical.
That's one of the things in a big game like this, you have to review it.
They're taking a look. We'll see. He's going to take a look at this because it's close enough. The key here is that any part of the ball goes over or touches any part of the goal line. In other words, the front of the goal line is part of the end zone. And it gets a little obscured there. The hit by D.D. Lewis. Forget about that second thrust. It's all about when he comes to the ground. Where is the ball when his elbow and hand go down right there?
And does any part of the ball, as you say, cross any part of the goal line? It just has to cross the plane. Just break the plane, which is the front part of that goal line.
Now, one thing about Levy you should know, he has seen fit to change the call on the field only 23% of the time. That is the lowest rate of overturned plays over the last 3 seasons. Now, that's on coaches' challenges or in situations like this, not a coach's challenge, but a review upstairs. This is a tough call.
Yeah, but I think, again, we go back to the rule. Is the evidence clear?
Yep.
And if it's not clear up here, then he probably has to stay with the call, doesn't he?
I thought it was very interesting that the linesman came in, and initially it looked as if he was going to spot the ball.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's the call on the field. And it's a touchdown for the Steelers.
Just any part of the ball breaking the plane of the goal line. But he either saw that it did or couldn't tell whether or not it did.
Right.
And he stayed with the call on the field.
Call on the field stands. Reed to attempt the point after. Gardocki will hold. And Jeff Reed tacks on the conversion with 1 minute and 55 seconds remaining in the opening half. And for the first time in Super Bowl 40, the Steelers on top 7-3.
Special.
14 seasons. He's still only 48 years old. His whole family is here. You may have seen the feature on the pregame show. Kathy Holmgren, wife of Mike, on a medical mission trip to the Republic of Congo, and that was planned, and Mike said, no, you're going to go ahead. I just can't envision Kathy in a sports bar in Brazzaville right now.
Well, yeah, and she's with her daughter, who's a doctor, so the two of them have to be sweating this thing out in the Congo.
Yes. So one hopper taken at the 20-yard line by Maurice Morris, who's the backup to Alexander, and a flag thrown at the end of the play at the 39-yard line.
During the return, holding, number 57, return team, 10-yard penalty, first down.
It's Kevin Bentley.
Bill Levy, our referee, giving a good, strong holding call. Did you hear that slap? Holding, he'll show him.
And there's the man who's called for the hold, Bentley. Halftime coming up, and that means first half highlights with Chris Berman and the gang, the Sprint halftime show. And the feature there, of course, is the live performance by the Rolling Stones. So this Pittsburgh crowd with a chant of defense, defense. Of course, Pittsburgh less than 300 miles away. Seattle about 2,500 miles from Detroit. from the 27-yard line. Hasselbeck over the middle, and that's caught by Joe Jurevicius in traffic. Absorbs a hit. Ball up at the 46-yard line. Seattle hustling to the line of scrimmage. They have 2 timeouts remaining.
And that was that same scene we were talking about in the cover 3. Joe Jurevicius, being a tall, wide receiver, can get body angle.
Hasselbeck feeling the pocket. Outside, he works it to Alexander. He's tackled at midfield by Tyrone Carter.
Seattle has 2 timeouts here, and again, your goal here is to get inside the 30. That's your first goal, to get in field goal position. And once you get inside the 30, then you go for the touchdown.
And Seattle takes a timeout. They have 1 left. Super Bowl 40 is being brought to you by Cadillac, introducing the new Cadillac Escalade, official vehicle of Super Bowl 40. By Diet Pepsi, light, crisp, refreshing, brown and bubbly. Budweiser Select, brewed longer for a bold taste that finishes clean. Expect everything. And Mobile ESPN, introducing Mobile ESPN. Sports fans, your phone has arrived. MVPs being scrolled across that facade. You know, John, in a way, the game's starting to heat up a little bit here toward the end of the half. It reminds me a little bit, though, of that game 2 years ago between New England and Carolina, where there was not a lot that went on in the first half. It was very low scoring, and then it was a phenomenal second half.
Right, and I think it's the type of thing, you know, you spar. You want to see, you know, what they're going to do against this, what they're going to do against that. You expect a lot of blitzing by the Steelers. You haven't seen it. You know, are they going to do more of it? And then you put a plan together for the second half.
Second down and 6. Hasselbeck throwing. And that's caught by Bobby Ingram at the 40-yard line. That'll move the chains with 1:05.
The Steelers, I was saying, haven't blitzed a lot in this first half. That play they did. They brought Troy Polamalu in there, and Seattle did a good job of picking it up.
Now only a 3-man rush, and 8 are back, and the pass is launched down the right sideline and out of bounds. It's Jackson who made 5 catches in the first quarter, but none here, covered by Ike Taylor, and he was out of bounds.
He only had 1 foot in on that play, but remember, you go back to yesterday and Matt Hasselbeck, and you know who's going to be the big player in this game, and he kept smiling and saying Darrell Jackson. I think Darrell Jackson's going to have a big game. He had the left foot in. He didn't get the right foot in.
Ooh. Very close.
Yeah, that's why, I mean, that's a receiver on that. I mean, he got a little too close to that sideline. That's why you always want to have a cushion between yourself and the sideline of about 5 yards.
Did he get close? No, they're going to take a timeout out of the Steelers. I thought for a second they're going to review it upstairs. I don't see what's reviewable about it. It was pretty clear, but timeout is taken now by Pittsburgh defensively. A spotlight recap of the first half. The Boston College product, Hasselbeck, with 118 passing yards, threw 5 times to Jackson in the first quarter alone. Ben Roethlisberger, a very slow start, but then a huge play on that 3rd and a mile, scrambling to his left, finding Ward, and setting up the Pittsburgh touchdown. So now 2nd and 10. Holmgren on the mic. Talks right into Hasselbeck's helmet.
And they have 1 timeout, which is big because he doesn't have to throw the ball to the sideline. He can still throw it inside because he has a timeout.
And they're going to give it to Alexander, so they're going to run it for about 4. But Kiesel makes the tackle. The ball at the 36-yard line. Clock running down under 40.
I guess when you think you have 1 timeout, you can also run. I don't understand that play.
Yeah. Josh Brown loosening up. Clock ticking down to 25. Normally they're quickly paced, and now taking a lot of time.
Well, and it's way too much time.
Whoa,
I mean, you run,
boy.
and then this time is not smart play.
Oh, boy. And timeout taken by Pittsburgh with the play clock ticking down with 13 seconds. And it could wind up leaving a timeout on the wall here. So that the Seahawks, who have been so professional, especially in postseason, at that tempo game of the pace. They had just called a timeout, and now they go up to the line of scrimmage, and they wasted all of that time there.
You know, and Matt Hasselbeck was going back and forth, and it looked like he was going to be in the shotgun. And remember, Seattle doesn't have a shotgun, and this is when you would be using one. But the play that I didn't understand is a running play. Then they probably called 2 plays, you know, a running play and then, you know, followed by a passing play with no huddle, and they got it discombobbled and they got confused. So they took really too much time. And then I don't understand why the Steelers took a timeout.
Yeah. 3rd down and 6 at the 36-yard line. Right now you'd be looking at about a 54-yard field goal. And Hasselbeck is going to go deep down the sideline, but that one's going to be out of bounds for Jackson. So now you have 7 seconds. Very unusual, because for a Mike Holmgren coach team and the offensive prowess and playing really smart at the end of halves and games, to get caught in this situation where you have to kick a field goal of this distance with 7 seconds left, and you're going to leave a timeout up on the wall, is stunning.
It doesn't make any sense. A run doesn't make any sense. And then, you know, not running a medium-sized type pass in the middle.
54 yards for Josh Brown, and that kick is no good. A very weird sequence for the Seattle offense to end this first half with 2 seconds left. One more snap for Pittsburgh.
That will make a coach scratch his head, because I think I'm scratching my head up here. You know, again, the run, and then you wonder why you didn't go, you know, having a timeout, why you didn't, you know, throw it in and get in field goal position. And if you still have some time, then you go for the touchdown.
Sometimes you overthink. We'll end it with a Roethlisberger kneel down, and that will be the end of the first half of Super Bowl 40. Low scoring half. 7-3. Let's go to Michelle.
All right, standing alongside Bill Cowher, you have the lead. It certainly wasn't easy getting it. What's the biggest puzzle you've got to solve for the second half?
In all honesty, all we got to do is Ben's got to settle down. You know, I think he'll be okay. If he can settle down, we'll be okay. We're going to have to just keep working the running game, Michelle. I mean, we got to be patient with it, and our defense has done a phenomenal job of keeping this good offense to 3 points. But if Ben can settle down and get a feel for the game, we got to get the run game going. I think we'll be all right.
Bill, thank you very much. Let's send it over to Susie.
Sorry, cross the line. You're telling me the ball, okay.
Mike Holmgren arguing with the officials right now as he walks off the field, engaged in a discussion with Bill Levy. Mike, what did all the confusion come from?
Well, they're telling me upstairs the ball didn't cross the line, and he's telling me he did for the touchdown down there on the replay.
Thanks, Mike.
Right, Susie. Well, he addresses another play, the earlier play, instead of what really happened at the end of the first half.
Yeah, that was really strange there at the first half. I mean, the play call and then Darrell Jackson running 2 patterns so close to the sideline.
So the Seattle Seahawks, who held the lead for a good part of the half, go back to the locker room trailing by 4. Chris and the gang coming up. First half highlights, Sprint halftime show with the Rolling Stones. Coming up, Super Bowl 40 from Ford Field in Detroit. Pittsburgh 7, Seattle 3.
I can watch live TV on my new Sprint phone.
Well, my Sprint phone has TV and downloads music.
I can check email.
I have that. And crime deterrent.
What?
Try and take my wallet.
Give me your...
Live TV, wireless music downloads, email, and crime deterrent.
I'm filing a grievance, Ben.
On the Sprint PowerVision network.
We're a nation of football fans. A nation of believers, dreamers, and rugged individuals. United in the belief that while all fans are created equally, we each love the game in our own way. The Super Bowl. About as American as America gets. It could be your 40th. It could be your first. You might just watch for the commercials. With our families and friends, tonight we're all connected by the game. So on this, our Super Sunday, we just want to say thanks. We're proud to be part of the family.
I'm so sad Gabby lost her baby.
I wish Mike would get back with Susan. They're so good together.
I am so worried about Bree. She's really been hitting the bottle.
I still can't believe Lynette went back to work. She's missing such an important time in her kids' lives.
Edie needs to settle down and stop fooling around.
Get in the game. All new Desperate Housewives next Sunday, 9/8 Central, only on ABC.
Where you go in life is up to you. There's one airline that can take you there. United. It's time to fly.
Designer Dogs. Kevin Roy reports Monday at 10.
This is the Super Bowl 40 halftime report.
Welcome back to Ford Field, everybody. At halftime of Super Bowl 40. The Pittsburgh Steelers lead the Seattle Seahawks by the count of 7-3. Hi once again, and welcome to our halftime show. I'm Chris Berman, along with Steve Young, Michael Irvin, Tom Jackson. It took the Pittsburgh Steelers 19 minutes to get a first down, but yet they have the lead. Here's how it went. Seattle did everything but run it up on the scoreboard. Early on in the first half, Matt Hasselbeck hit Darrell Jackson for what looked like a Seahawk touchdown. And we'll talk more about this in a moment. They call that offensive pass interference, negating the play. Now, after being stymied for a quarter and a half, Ben Roethlisberger buying time. And we had a feeling Hines Ward would have a big half. He ran a reverse in the second quarter. And then on this play, very close to breaking the play, the lone touchdown of the half. It is 7-3, the Steelers. So, look, Mike Holmgren, after the half, who is pretty mild-mannered, goes after the officials saying, what are you looking at? Because it looks like some calls, some Seahawk plays. They're shooting themselves in the... If you didn't watch the game, I mean, if you saw the scoreboard, you wouldn't think it was the same game.
Yeah, but some significant things got done by the Seattle Seahawks. They beat the bully back. The Pittsburgh Steelers came in with that. But I know Tommy's mentioned that. And also, Seattle now has to go into the half full of a lot of regret. All the ticky-tack fouls and penalties and mistakes has cost them significantly. But despite all that, they got to feel pretty good that it's only 7-3.
I don't know about that, Steve, because the stats don't show the truth, Boomers. That's what you were trying to say, because the stats are pretty even. But Seattle beat this team up and down the football field. I mean, like you say, they didn't get a first down for 19 minutes. And I'm telling you this, Ben Roethlisberger does what he did. He always whirl around and then find a big play. He found a big play. That's got him in this game right now.
Avoid the pressure and make a play. And we knew that Ben's going to do that at least at some point today. But, you know, I agree with Steve. I think if you're Seattle, you're down by 4, but you feel pretty good because you took the swagger away from the Pittsburgh Steelers. And you did it in a building where their crowd, really the percentage of Pittsburgh Steelers fans, 90% here to 10% Seahawks. You come out in the second half, I think you're feeling pretty confident about your ability to move the ball.
Let's look at because Mike, look, you tried to get some space by pushing. Let's look at the tell me what you guys think of the call on Darrell Jackson.
Well, first of all, look at how much time he has to throw the football. and then they make the adjustment. And Michael, you've done that 1,000 times.
Yeah, and I thought it was a ticky-tack foul. As a matter of fact, it didn't look like the ref was going to call it until the DB went to him. And this is part of playing football. I think both guys were reaching out. I thought it was a touchy call.
That is a touchdown. That is an absolute touchdown mistake.
The other side of the coin, though, if you look at it from Pittsburgh's angle, you're outplayed, but you're up 7-3. You don't expect to be outplayed for 60 minutes, do you?
Yeah, but
although they pulled in the reins, didn't they?
How are they going to get back? I mean, how are they going to continue this? Their blitzes are not getting to the quarterback. They're not getting to Matthew Hasselbeck, and that offense is definitely not in sync. So as you're coming out of the half, you can't feel, you got the lead, but you can't feel good about yourself.
Pittsburgh cornerbacks haven't covered anybody all day long. Matt Hasselbeck, he has the time, and the receivers are open.
Eyeball test, Pittsburgh Steelers haven't run the ball real well. They haven't thrown it real well. They haven't defended the run real well, and they haven't defended the pass real well. I think all of those things are troublesome if you are Bill Cowher in that locker room, even though you are up by 4 points.
And they have held Alexander down, though. They've done that. They set out to do it. That much they've done. I know that they tried the seam call on a run late in the last minute to try to spring Alexander, but Pittsburgh was ready for it.
In Seattle, you got to figure they've got the absolute least out of that half, and Pittsburgh got the absolute most that they could.
Well, we got great entertainment coming up. Some great area news today for an area that needs it. The league announced today that the New Orleans Saints will play their first game in the Superdome, and that will be on September 24th against the Falcons. And so the Superdome reopening, and earlier today the NFL announcing that, and boy, that is great news from an area from all that. Well, we'll see you back here later on. But coming up, the greatest rock and roll band of all time, the Rolling Stones, will perform on the Sprint Super Bowl 40 halftime show.
Ready?
More than ready.
Dr. Burke, I need to speak with you.
I want you to walk out of this room, go and tell the charge nurse that we have a code black.
I shut down the ORs.
You cannot stay here.
All new Grey's Anatomy, tonight after the Super Bowl, only on ABC.
We're going to hell.
Why?
Because we're Jews.
From the creator of Saturday Night Live, Lorne Michaels.
Who told you that, honey? Aunt Ray.
Aunt Ray.
Aunt Ray. Alrighty.
Comes a new breed of family comedy.
My kids are Jews. My wife is a Jew.
Aunt Ray talks. I don't listen.
Way to come to the rescue, Mom. You'd be great at Nuremberg. Did you do that? This marker, this permanent marker. She's forever Hitler.
Sons and Daughters. Series premiere Tuesday, March 7th, 9/8 Central. Only on ABC.
I have something I think you should see.
You can't sleep, you can't eat. There's no doubt you're in deep. Your throat is tight, you can't breathe. Another kiss is all you need. Oh, you can't get enough. You're gonna have to face it. You're addicted to lust. Might as well face it. You're addicted to lust. Might as well face it. You're addicted to lust. Might as well face it. You're addicted to lust. Might as well face it. You're addicted to lust.
How long since your last fix?
Might as well face it. You're addicted to lust.
We're gonna need to watch that again.
All new Lost, Wednesday, only on ABC.
The National Football League presents the Sprint Super Bowl 40 halftime show. Ladies and gentlemen, the Rolling Stones.
And start me up, I'll never stop. And start me up. And start me up, I'll never stop. I'm running out. Put it in the diary.
Everybody out there, how you doing, all right? Are you doing good? This one's called Rough Justice, all right. One time I was your baby chicken, now you've grown into a fox. One time I was your little rooster, but am I just a warrior? It's love justice on ya. You're going after trust me. It's love justice, but you know I never think I'll hide. So put your lips to my hips, baby. Tell me what's on your mind. I know you still got that animal attraction for me. It's been a long, long time. It's love justice on ya. You're going after trust me. It's love justice, but you know I never think I'll hide. Come on, one more. You feeling loose and lusty? And if you really want me, it's love justice, but you know I never think I'll hide.
First half, the Rolling Stones, and then the lone touchdown. Ben Roethlisberger, little tumbling dice, barely into the end zone. But the Steelers lead the Seahawks 7-3 despite being outgained and out a lot of things. But Pittsburgh's got the lead. My goodness, we've had the Stones. Now we're going to have a big second half. If you're either team, Tom, what are you trying to do?
If I'm Seattle, I continue to attack these corners. They have not proven that they can cover. Matt Hasselbeck should eat them up second half.
And Pittsburgh must find a way to consistently move the football. You started the postseason throwing the ball. Now you're not throwing it well nor running it well.
Seattle's the best team in football all year long at finishing drives. They have to start doing that. Pittsburgh better get aggressive or they're going to get in trouble.
A 4-point game at the half of the Super Bowl, a lot lower scoring than you thought, but we've seen Super Bowls explode before, like that New England-Carolina game. We'll see you for the Cadillac post-game show. It's big second half coming up. Al and John are next.
I'm going to Disney World.
I'm going to Disney World.
I'm going to Disney World. I'm going to Disney World. I'm going to Disney World. I'm going to Disney World.
I'm going to Disney World.
I'm going to Disney World.
What do you mean, be more natural?
Oh, pick your head up.
Okay.
I'm tough. I'm tough. Where you going? Hey, I'm going to Disney World.
I'm going to Disney World.
Oh, I'm going to Disney World.
I'm going to go to Disney World.
Disney World. Disney World.
Disney World!
Disney World! Woo!
Too much.
That's the price. Just, I'm going to Disney World. That's it. That's the one I'm going with. That one right there.
You're looking up and you see the light bulbs flickering and you realize that you're in the Super Bowl.
If we could have the entire team up there holding that trophy together, that would be really special.
All your dreams that you had as a kid growing up, wanting to be in the Super Bowl as a quarterback, to be able to hold that trophy up would just be an amazing feeling.
Wow, this is the biggest game in the world. It's now or never. We're really close to the top of that mountain, and now is not the time to, take those blinders off.
And now the second half from Ford Field in Detroit, Super Bowl 40, Pittsburgh on top 7-3. The big plays, the key plays in the opening half included what would have been a Seattle touchdown, but a push off here by Darrell Jackson against Chris Hope. That was negated. And their only scoring was a field goal. Then the biggest play of the half, 3rd down and 28, and Roethlisberger, just before he steps across the line of scrimmage, launches it to Hines Ward. He makes the catch. Then, at least in Mike Holmgren's eyes, the disputed touchdown by Roethlisberger with a booth review upheld by Bill Levy. So the first half, it's close. Not going to win any Academy Awards. We've talked about games that do break out in the second half. What kind of a pace and tone do you expect now in the second half, John?
Well, I think if Seattle would go to that pace that they started with. Remember, they started the up-tempo and they started hitting those quick outs and those types of things, and then they got away from it. I think that they should go back to that and maybe stop running those sweeps and maybe trying to start run inside now. And I think, as Bill Cowher was saying just before the half, I don't know that they really have a plan, and if they do, it doesn't seem to be working. He said what his plan is Ben has to settle down and they have to get their running game going. Now, I think at some point, this game is going to be put in Ben Roethlisberger's hands. I mean, they've had, in the playoffs, they've had that thing where they'd get ahead, they'd get the lead, and they could come and run in the second half. It doesn't look like this is going to be that kind of second half for them.
They come down to the quarterbacks on each side. Now, at the end of the first half, a lot of confusion with Seattle. To clear that up, let's go to Susie Colbert.
Well, I asked Mike Holmgren about it, and he said that what happened was he called a play, and Matt Hasselbeck audibled. He called another play, and Matt Hasselbeck audibled again. Then he said the Steelers called a timeout, which was smart on their part because they lost 10 seconds. But he said really their offense is operating fairly efficiently. He said 3 touchdown passes were out by just a foot. He told his guys at halftime, we just need to settle down. We're almost there. Michelle?
Well, Susie, speaking of settling down, I was told just before the half by Bill Cowher that Ben Roethlisberger needed to settle down. I asked him just now how he planned to do that, get him to settle down. He said Ben really does that for himself, and we're confident he'll do it. We give all the credit in the world to Seattle's defense. They did a good job of slowing down our run. We're going to continue to try to mix the run with the pass and get some momentum going. We've got to convert on third downs, and we can't accept the penalties that slowed us down early in this ballgame. Al?
All right, thank you, Michelle. And they have mixed the pass and run at a 50-50 ratio in the first half with 13 rushes, 13 passes. We have Jerome Bettis mic'd up for the game, and here was Bettis when Roethlisberger scored the only touchdown of the first half.
Yeah! Woo! I caught two, Tuber. Good job, baby. Good job, baby. Good job.
I saw him
stuffed that guy.
I tried to go over, and that's when I got hit from
That's
below.
who got caught.
And that's the scene on the sideline afterwards. And then, of course, they had to wait through a booth review, and the call was upheld.
That was a pretty good block by Jerome Bettis, though. He was proud of it. He got Lufa Tutupu. And if someone's going to make that play on the goal line, it would be Tutupu.
So Pittsburgh will get the ball as we start the third quarter. Ricardo Coakley will receive the kick. Josh Brown will send it toward the end zone. 7-3. Pittsburgh on top. Second half underway in Super Bowl 40. Coakley from the 4, coming straight up the middle. And then popped by Jordan Babineau as he gets to the 24-yard line.
They better stop popping.
Yeah. Little tussling going on.
I think this is a big drive here. I mean, if Pittsburgh could go down and score, then they could really play their type of game. Then they could get into that run mode, and they could get more aggressive and blitz more on defense. Now, if Seattle doesn't want that to happen, then they need, a big defensive series here.
And like a great bullpen closer in baseball, few coaches are better than Bill Cowher at making sure you have a victory once you get a decent-sized lead. More on that later. Extra Pruitt, meanwhile, does start the second half. Marquand Manuel got hurt in the first half, hasn't been back. Willie Parker starts at running back from the 25-yard line. And Roethlisberger, from a short 3-step drop, throws it a little bit behind Ward, covered by Andre Dyson. And let's take a look at some of the key numbers through the first 30 minutes. Neither team doing a lot on the ground, which is sort of surprising in Seattle's case with the league rushing champion. Ben Roethlisberger, that a good percentage of those passing yards on that one key pass on 3rd and 28, 37 in fact.
Marquand Manuel will not return now.
So he is out. We're going to see Pruitt for the rest of the day. And you're going to see Parker bursting one over the right side. They call him Fast Willie Parker. And Fast Willie Parker has just gone 75 yards for a touchdown.
That was the change in momentum that the Steelers were talking about. They had 3 wide receivers. Seattle was in nickel defense, so this is what you want to do. Get them to think that you're going to pass. Then you get a little counter, a good block there. You just get by that safety. Again, they had that 8th man up. Once you get by with that nickel, you only have 1 safety back there, and you outrun that guy.
Parker had 6 carries for 11 yards before that one.
Alan Faneca made a heck of a block. You can see him pull and get that block that sprung Parker.
That's why he may be the best guard in the league. Fast Willie Parker out of North Carolina has just made it an 11-point game in a flash. History of the Super Bowl, Marcus Allen had held the record, and if you follow football, you can see the Allen run in your eye going one way. Comes Tampa for the Raiders against Washington in Super Bowl 18. A phenomenal run. This one just a quick shot over the right side. A great block by Alan Faneca and 75 yards for Fast Willie Parker.
You know, when the Steelers have success running, they usually run to the left side behind Faneca. Then when they run to the right, they pull Faneca. So either way, they're getting in behind Alan Faneca, one of the best guards in football. The best lineman in football.
You said key early drive. Here comes another one.
Yeah, the Steelers needed that. Now they can really put pressure on Seattle.
Here's Josh Scobie taking the kick from the 4-yard line. And Scobie gets taken down by Kiesel up at the 29-yard line, and back we go to the longest run in any of the 40 Super Bowls.
Yeah, we'll see Alan Faneca right here. Watch Michael Boulware. When he comes up and misses, then he breaks through and he gets right on the safety Pruitt, and Pruitt takes a bad angle. So you see Faneca pull, make the tackle right there on Leroy Hill. Boulware miss, and now the only guy is Pruitt, and he's the backup or the third safety. He takes a bad angle, and then Willie Parker gets a touchdown.
From the 29-yard line, Hasselbeck goes to work, and it is juggled and dropped by Alexander, who a few years ago was catching a lot of passes, but this year averaged about 1 reception per game. Covered by Higgins. The Seahawks, statistically, how have they done? Hasselbeck, 118 yards in the half. Alexander, the rushing champion, averaged better than 5 yards per carry during the regular season, 3.1. And then Jackson had those 5 receptions all in the first quarter. They've got Jackson lining up in the backfield here, number 82. And they'll send him in motion on 2nd down and 10. Hasselbeck goes the other way, and the pass is caught out in the flat by Maurice Morris. And he is taken down up at about the 35-yard line by Ike Taylor. It'll be 3rd down and 4.
Yeah, Morris is a running back, so they split him out as a wide receiver. Put the wide receiver, Darrell Jackson, in the backfield. Put him in motion on the other side, and then throw it back to this side to Mo Morris.
Third down and 4.
That'll 2 defensive linemen, 3 linebackers, 6 defensive backs, and they were going to come on a blitz. Hasselbeck just held that snap count.
3rd down and 4, might have changed it to a run. Gives it to Max Strong for a 1st down. Max Strong, who of course is noted for his blocking, go to the Pro Bowl because of that, but occasionally gets the ball. In fact, he had a big run in the playoff game against Washington.
Yeah, and that's what teams try and do. When it's not 3rd and long, and the Steelers go into that 2 defensive linemen, 3 linebackers, 6 defensive backs. They want to run against them and get them out of it. Watch Troy Polamalu miss there. You don't see that an awful lot.
That's Seattle's first rushing 1st down. They had 8 through the air. Now you've got Alexander to the short side of the field, and a little bit of what has made him the rushing champ and the league MVP in evidence on that play. Steve Hutchinson, the guard, leading the way, John.
You know, I was going to say, Al, I think that's probably one of the adjustments that Mike Holmgren and the Seahawks made is they were trying to stretch that thing and get it outside and get it to the sidelines on a sweep, and now they're getting it out there and cutting it back. And I think you just can't keep going to the sideline. At some point, you have to get a kick out and then cut back inside it. They didn't let the edges cut them back.
That was a 21-yard gain. Play fake, buys time, throws, and it is juggled and then incomplete. Jeremy Stevens in amongst the defensive triangle there. And Stevens, of course, in the papers all week long with the back and forth with Joey Porter. The tight end over the middle just couldn't hang on at the end.
And Jeremy Stevens is 6'7", so he's a big target down the middle. And Matt Hasselbeck thinks all you have to do is throw it up over the linebackers and you'll get a completion. He threw it up over the linebackers. That was a perfect throw. Jeremy Stevens just didn't make the play.
Second down and 10. Stevens comes out. Back they go to a three-receiver set. And Alexander in the backfield, and Alexander with the football. Taking it to the 32-yard line where the linebacker Larry Foote makes the tackle. It'll set up a 3rd down and 5 at the 32.
And I think if they can keep this mixture up and get Sean Alexander going in this second half and make the Steelers play both run and pass, I think they'll have an advantage. If they get one-dimensional, the Steeler defense could take over the game. But the Seahawks right now aren't letting them do that.
Alexander comes out on 3rd and 5. That's conventional. There's no threat as a pass receiver.
It's a 2-3 dime again. 2 defensive linemen, 3 linebackers, 6 defensive backs. See if they run again.
Oh, they just do get the play off. And then a fade is thrown toward Jackson. And Jackson gets tangled up. Incidental contact, no flag, and an incomplete pass. Chris Hope put the pressure on that time on the safety blitz.
And Jackson didn't even look like he knew that the ball was coming. And that's one of those things when you get that blitz, he has to know that the ball's coming. Although he did take a peek there, he tried to get a little push off, then he couldn't relocate the ball.
Now a 50-yard attempt for Josh Brown. If he misses it, Pittsburgh will get it at the 40, and he has missed it. So they try a 50-yard field goal. It's just wide left, and now near midfield, the Steelers have the ball and an 11-point lead.
Free safety Marquand Manuel now down cornerback Andre Dyson as well. He came into this game with an injured quad. They've been stretching it, trying to work it out, but he's obviously in some pain now.
He is, and Kelly Herndon takes over. The ex-Bronco, number 31, will take his spot. After the missed field goal, they'll start from the 40-yard line off the play fake to Bettis, and Roethlisberger's pass is caught. Great catch off the top of the turf by Hines Ward. Hines Ward just inches above the field turf here at Ford Field, makes the catch.
You know, doesn't Hines Ward make an amazing play every time you watch him? And the play, he's the inside receiver here, and the play could be, a catch. It could be a block, but this guy just makes big plays. And Roethlisberger was telling us the other day that on most passes that the Steelers have, Hines Ward is the first read.
Averaged over 14 yards per catch. So let Plaxico Burress go to New York. Ward took over as the guy. And the bus rumbles to the 40-yard line. And speaking of the bus, we have him mic'd up.
You gotta know that corner is coming, is gonna be coming out. So you got to go inside of him. Based on his angle where he's coming in, you're not gonna be able to get outside of him. See what I'm saying? So you see him, stick him out, back inside.
That's what you say to a guy after he makes a long run for a touchdown in the Super Bowl.
2nd and 4. Rocky Bernard chases Roethlisberger, and the pass is incomplete. And this is a very key defensive series here for Seattle. I mean, think of what's happened to the Seahawks. They led 3-0. They could have been up by a lot more. They had an offensive pass interference. They had a couple of catches deep downfield out of bounds. They had the Roethlisberger 3rd and long, which he converted. They had the disputed touchdown. They had the clock mismanagement at the end of the first half. They had Willie Parker run 75 yards. They missed a 50-yard field goal. This is big for Seattle right here.
Right, on that last offensive drive, you just had the feeling that they could move the ball, but they can't finish the deal.
3rd down and 4. Roethlisberger swings it to the outside. That's Ward. He breaks the tackle. Is inside the 30. He takes it to the 23-yard line. Got out of Kelly Herndon's grasp. Herndon, the guy playing in place of the injured Dyson. 16 yards.
Lofa Tatupu is going to come in a blitz, so what that's telling Ben Roethlisberger, when he sees him coming and he knows that he has man-to-man on the outside, Tatupu doesn't get picked up, which also tells Roethlisberger, I better get the ball out of here quickly, and he does to Hines Ward for a first down.
At the 23-yard line. The bus, big seam, first down to the 10.
Yeah, we talk about Alan Faneca, and you know if the Steelers make a big run, this guy here is usually involved somewhere. He'll pull right. Here he pulls left. He gets the kickoff, and Jerome Bettis just gets in and just cuts right inside him. And he protects that ball. And you know, Jerome Bettis is one of those guys that always carries the ball in one arm. It's his right arm. He always carries the ball in his right arm.
1st and 10 just outside the 10. Conceivably, they could get a first down without a touchdown. They'd be at about the 1-inch line. Gain of about 3. Talked to Jerome Bettis, as have a lot of people recently, about will he or won't he retire. I got, sometimes a guy knows, but he just won't say. I'm not sure he knows.
Well, he said he hadn't talked to Bill Cowher about it yet, and the one thing he would want to talk to him about is, does he have to practice? He said he practiced every day this week, this year, and he doesn't think that he can do that.
He said to us the other day, my body's okay. The question is, how will they use the body? 2nd and 6. Jerome again. And this time he gets taken down at the 6-yard line. Kelly Herndon is the first guy there. It'll be 3rd down.
Yeah, and that's what they like to do. I mean, we talked about this before. You know, if they get the lead, then they get the lead. Then Bill Cowher just folds his arms and says, let's just keep running. And then, you know, we have good defense. We'll play aggressive defense. In fact, that's the look there that says, let's just keep running. Well, I don't know what this look is.
Well, he had the arms folded. Now Bettis is going to come out. You got Haynes coming into the game, and he had the arms folded, but with Haynes coming in on 3rd down.
That was going to be a passing situation, and Bill Cowher ran down to the 25-yard line.
Yep. Arms unfolded.